Warning! This court is now in session. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Sleepy Hollows, Season 4, Episode 4, The People versus Ichabod Crane. I'm your host, Dom. With me, we have Kim and Clio, whose wrist is going to fall off from doing that for an entire night. She's got to do it through the whole podcast.
You know, that was so funny.
Feels.
Yes. Oh, this episode.
Yeah.
This episode just brings you back so much into Season 1, so much into Season 2, and absolutely none of Season 3, and I loved it. So...
Absolutely none of Season 3. The whole trial
Because everyone wants to pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's...
Other than Abby dying.
Yeah, whatever. Minor technicality. But yeah, nostalgia trip. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. What was your guys' favorite part about this episode?
Molly's words breaking through to Crane, I think. Definitely. And that she used Abby's words.
Yeah, that was very, very powerful. Kim?
Between that and when Ichabod started to defend himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that was a good one.
Yeah. For me, it's just straight up 2 words. John Noble. Right? Just getting the actor John Noble back to replay Ichabod's son was fantastic.
And getting him to cry, that was started to cry.
So good. Me and Kim were just talking about last episode how there was a possibility of John Noble coming back this season. They kind of teased it. I didn't actually see previews of him in this particular episode in the trailers and stuff that we saw. So I did not realize when we were talking about this last week that it was literally the next episode it was going to be happening in. I thought, because it was just basically like a Comic-Con sizzle reel that they kind of just, here's some stuff upcoming in Sleepy Hollow that they showed what's in store for the season. And what was not shown to the public was John Noble. Everybody that was at Comic-Con saw an extra scene that was, in fact, John Noble saying something, hello, son, or something like that. And then, that started leaking, and I was like, I was really excited from all of that. And then here it is. Next episode, I'm just like, oh, yes, here we go. But there's still a lot of emphasis on Abby this episode. And it's getting to the point, I'm not getting aggravated with it so much, but it's getting to the point where I'm expecting a cameo from Abby at some point because of all the emphasis that has kind of been put on her. And I get she's been a huge part of this show for 3 seasons, and it's very impossible to not mention her. But at the same time, this show has gone such a big breath of fresh air in a completely different direction, and it almost feels like an entirely new show that you kind of want to maybe move away from the old stuff a little bit. The nostalgia here was great, don't get me wrong. If this was the only mention of Abby that we've had all season, that also, well, not the only mention, because you kind of have to address it in the first episode, but if it wasn't a continuing theme through every episode, it would have been much, I feel like I would have appreciated it more. But now it's gotten to the point where I'm expecting, what's her, Nicole, is that her name? Expecting her character to come back.
And I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either, and that's what's got me so disappointed.
You have to, the torch hasn't actually been passed yet. The soul is gone to Molly, but the fact that Molly doesn't really understand what's going on yet, the torch has been passed. You can't stop talking about Abby. I don't think quite yet.
Yeah. That's my opinion on it too. I understand why they're still talking about her, especially in this episode. I mean, Ichabod's being blamed for her death or whatever, but she's kind of being blamed for every death that's happened because everybody around him dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not his fault directly.
Yeah.
But
and we have Brian in chat also saying, I was hoping Abby was going to show up and be the one to talk Ichabod out of his dream. And I 100% believe if the actress was still on the show, that's how it would have worked. Even if she was still around the show for like different flashbacks and scenes, and they'd bring her in for, you know, different reasons, and they were still doing this Molly witness storyline. If the actress was available who played Abby, they probably would have done that here. They probably would have had Molly over the phone, waking him up the same way, but it would have been like kind of like what the new Star Wars did with the Obi-Wan voices, where they overlaid multiple Obi-Wan saying the same thing. That's how I feel like this would have went down if the actress was still available for the show.
Oh yeah, like both of their voices. You would have known it was both of them.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that would have been cool.
Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that I feel like is really missing from having Abby off the show, and it's getting to the point where I'm getting really frustrated with Diana. I don't know about you guys.
She's honestly just doing. Yes, she's like closing it, but she's doing honestly. She reminds me of Abby.
She does,
like
in
how
certain
Abby
ways.
Just sort of shut down, ran away, left Jenny in a mental hospital.
Right.
That kind of stoic dealing with something. Diana's reminding me of Abby there.
But it's just like the very
getting better though.
Stubborn closed-mindedness that she's been having lately. Like when last episode when she found out about Crane being a time traveler, she just like flipped out. She's like, "You room out now," and it's just like it just seemed completely out of line.
And you say she's closed-minded, but she immediately accepts that as the truth. She's just mad he lied.
Yeah, no,
it's the lies. I think there's gonna be a backstory. I think there's gonna be a thing that she's got some deep-rooted.
The father.
With lying or something.
Yeah. And I mean, when it gets to that point, I could probably look back on it and understand and forgive it. But I'm just saying, at this point, I'm really frustrated with her. And I don't know if that's their intention, but it's just, I don't like her right now. And that's my problem. Like, I liked Abby from the get-go. Abby had some troubles, you know, whatever. Oh, yeah. But she was a character that I identified and liked right away.
I think they gave a lot more information about Abby right away, though. I feel like we don't know Diana. I feel like
I don't like Alex.
The other part with this, though, and I'm not sure if you even realize this, Kim, and I forgot to mention this so long ago when we started doing this show. The actress who plays Diana, do you recognize her, Kim?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
But what am I supposed to recognize her from? Like, I know...
From the Vampire Diaries. She played Ketsia. Right? And that's why I think that's deep root seeding of why I don't like her, maybe. That's a possibility. That there's subliminal kind of, you know, I don't like her for that reason. I don't know if that's it, but there's a lot of just actions and stuff the character has done that I don't like. Yeah. So, yeah, there's some stuff going on with that, and we need more backstory on it, and until it gets to that point, I'm still very skeptical of Diana. I like her in certain regards, but she's irritating me in others. She did come around this episode. She's kind of accepted the stuff with Molly, because that was another thing last episode that was really irritating me. She was just so shut down of, no, I'm not accepting any of this, even though she had facts in front of her, and she was just like, yeah, I'm going to do this, you know?
Being the mom, protecting your daughter.
I understand that.
You get stupid. Like, you close off things, and you kind of just go, like, when you're protecting someone, you're like, you don't think about it. You just kind of go, no, I'm going to do everything I can to protect you, no matter, you know, what.
Yeah.
And I
common sense and thought process goes out the window.
Right.
And I think Jenny talked a lot with Diana this episode, and
yeah,
she saw how Abby dealt with it, and it's the same way here. And she's like, it caught up to Abby. It's going to catch up to you. You can't run away from this.
Yeah. I mean, she instructed Molly not to talk to them, you know, at all. Like, don't have this, don't have that. And I get it. That part is being the protective mother. But not even knowing the supernatural world exists, seeing things with your own eyes, and knowing that they've been through stuff before, and if they are claiming that Molly's the witness, you have evidence that Molly drew these pictures before meeting Crane, and there's stuff in front of your face, evidence, that you wouldn't at least hear them out. That's the kind of stuff that bothers me. She could still protect Molly in her own way and hear them out, but the fact that, like, it was last episode that she shut the door on them and it's just like, don't ever come back, and this and that. That was the stuff that was irritating me with her. But she's come around a lot. She's come around a lot this episode. Yes.
Yeah.
And getting Molly to help Crane, using Abby's words like we mentioned, is absolutely fantastic. What did you guys think of the goo monster that turned out to be a spider thing?
I don't understand how it went from goo to spider, but...
Okay, so they showed Crane in the cocoon, and I'm like, oh, it's Shelob. Because it's the same kind of cocoon that Frodo's in. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Shelob. I know what this is. We got this. We just need fire.
Yeah, there you go. It was with the Sicarius Spei.
Oh, I know.
Spei. That's what this creature was called. And yeah, they needed fire, like Clio surmised, which was kind of cool because we got to see Alex and Jake, go break into the Smithsonian, and through, I'm assuming it had to do with the secret tunnels, because we saw them go into the tunnel and then take like the vent off. But is there really just like they built the Smithsonian ventilation system into the sewer? Like,
I don't know. Here's the problem with them sneaking into the Smithsonian. They said they've been doing it for a while.
Yes.
But they use the tunnels. They knew about the tunnels. You're right. Never mind.
Yeah, no, they've known about them, but they haven't mapped them all out.
Yes.
And
I guess they knew about
every nook
this
and
one.
cranny of it. Yeah. This
is another part I really liked, because we had really like this moment between Jake and Alex of Jake explaining all of this crap. Like, he's like, I was gonna leave, tired of sitting around, on my butt doing nothing. And he was, now I'm doing something, and he's excited with all of this. And he was kind of trying to get Alex to, come over to the side,
Yeah.
Stop being so critical of everything.
I mean, Alex really kind of took it. She was taken aback by it, because it was just like, you were really gonna leave like all this? Like, I think she feels a little hurt or betrayed in a way.
Oh, she was tearing up, you could tell.
Yeah, but I feel like she was hurt and betrayed. Like, you really were gonna leave me? Like, I thought we were partners, kind of. That's the way I felt that she took that.
I do too.
But it was really interesting seeing them in the Smithsonian, and then I guess his character's name is Job. Is that right?
I couldn't remember his name. The
I'm convinced he's the devil.
Yeah, that's what Clio was talking to me about yesterday.
It sounds like he sold his soul. Like
Dreyfus
said he sold his soul to the devil. So immediately I was that either means Dreyfus is the devil or his head of security is the devil. One of them is the devil. Like, literally Lucifer.
Yeah.
Then angels will come back.
We've been waiting for angels.
Angels.
We've seen
Orion.
We've seen Job come in and like,
come back to me.
He steals this ley line map, right, that he's got.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Let's try to
figure out. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was too.
And he like chokes out a police officer. He used magic, all this stuff, and you're seeing Jake and Alex is like, really, you're prepared for this? Like, this is the kind of stuff you were talking about? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kind of made that guy dust. That's pretty.
Very interested in Dreyfus and his company.
Yeah.
A lot of mystery there.
There definitely is. I'm very interested. I really like the character because I like the actor who plays him. He's fantastic. He's played very similar character like Lost. His mannerisms and stuff are very. They're similar. They're not exact, but they're similar.
So you're saying he's typecasted? Kind of,
in a tiny bit of a way, like his speech patterns and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's necessarily just how the actor talks, or if that's something he's integrated into. Just happens to be these two characters, So, mannerisms are definitely a bit different, but like his speech pattern, intonation, that kind of stuff. So I don't know how much of that is the actor himself, or how much of that is just integration into characters. But I love it. I love it, and I can't wait to see more of it. And it was kind of revealed that this black ooze Sicarius thing was in fact from J Street, carried over. And it leads to be what else is trapped in J Street that we don't know about, that Dreyfus now has access to and could possibly use. But there's no mention of the Horseman's whereabouts right now. We don't know what happened to him from last week.
Yeah. Another question is, how did Dreyfus get in? Like, did he use the same method that they did to get in, or does he have another way in?
No, he mentioned it. He said he removed the rune, the metal plate that they put in. Yeah. So that's how he was able to get the Horseman out, because that's how the Horseman was sealed in there. But yeah. And then, like, because when we go from, like, we had mentioned the black goo, like, all this stuff, and we saw how sensitive it was to light and, everything. When everything is said and done, and we're going to go back and talk about the monster in the trial in a minute, but when everything is said and done, this goo no longer is reactive to the light, right? And at the very end of the episode, we see it left on the table, and they're like, we'll dispose of this later. And we see the jar start moving around, the contents of the jar start moving, and it makes a face. The face, to me, looked a little bit like George Washington.
Did it?
To me, it did. I don't know what you guys got out of it, or if you just
like
saw...
John Noble to me.
That's what I thought so, too.
Yeah?
I thought it was John Noble.
Okay.
I thought it was Henry, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, so... I'm wondering if something crazy happened to Washington. I sat there, I paused, and I really was looking at it for a bit.
Oh, I know, so much crap went down.
Honestly, at this point, anything they say about Washington, I'll just take. Because,
okay.
Yep.
All right, I believe that.
Yeah.
In this universe, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I like this whole focus with the whole Valley Forge stuff and what.
Yeah.
Because, not to mention the fact that I live right across the street from Valley Forge. But that it gave the reasoning to all of the crap that was, went down with Valley Forge.
Right.
And that, I think, and they said it in, concise, sentences in the dialogue, but the fact that, these are the times that try men's souls was literal. Like, I loved how that stuff was literal. They turned it into it actually meaning their souls are on trial.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the historical fiction and that kind of stuff. So that was, I changed my mind. That was my favorite part.
Okay. Yeah.
The whole Valley Forge stuff I was like, oh,
it's fantastic. But like the psychic link that the monster had was not only a mental one, it was a physical one, right? We saw that when Diana shot the spider creature and it physically hurt Crane and he started bleeding. And I was just like, ooh, this is good. This is good. This is going to be very difficult to deal with. Instead, it's just burn it with fire. I was expecting like Crane to start bursting into flames while he was on trial. But no. But the trial itself was really cool.
Waited.
Yeah. Trial itself was really cool. I loved how, it's like every answer that Crane had, the creature had one up over Crane. Until Crane got the floor and was able to speak for himself. And he really sounded like he was turning everything around, and even the psychic jury was on his side, at that point. Mm-hmm. Until John Noble comes back, or what's his name? Henry? Is that his name?
Henry.
I don't want to keep calling him John Noble. Henry comes in and is like, he really kind of twists the whole thing onto Abby and how he's moved on so quickly, and and then you really start seeing the guilt come in and start weighing on Ichabod, to the point that even when the monster's defeated, the psychic link is not broken and the noose is left, and I
mean, I think it's not just that he's moved on. It's that everyone he comes into contact with dies,
right? And
then they pull an Ultron, and then there's just the pile of their bodies.
Yeah.
And that's definitely, I think, what tipped him over.
Yep. It got serious there for a while, and I was like, oof. And I could kind of understand now where, Crane was going through, what he's feeling up to this point in this trial. Like, everything is against him at this point, and he really feels the guilt, and he really feels it's on his shoulders. And, if it wasn't for Molly and using Abby's words and all that, we would have lost Crane there. That would have been it.
We would have.
So,
I didn't think he was going to go that direction. To be honest, I thought he was going to pull himself through. Like, I thought he was just going to be strong enough because he seemed like he was going to.
Yeah.
But then when he actually stood up to the news, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that was a little too heavy for me today.
Yeah.
Putting it around his neck, I'm like, oh, I was not prepared.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
But the nostalgia, everything, it was fantastic, digging up some of these past things and seeing a lot of these characters and dealing with the storylines and, things like that. I mean, we didn't really get much of the Horseman or anything like that, but we just got a whole bunch of him last week, so can forgive that. Still a little upset that we didn't even see flashbacks of Abby during the trial, I feel like that's a great opportunity to use stock footage. If those, I haven't gone back and watched recently, but if the words Molly used were the exact words that Abby said, they could have overlaid them, right?
But I think they want to start distancing themselves from that.
Yeah.
And they can't not mention her, but they can stop using the footage.
I agree with you. I just feel like this particular episode is kind of the exception to that rule, just based on it's the fact that it's a dream, and it's all in his head, and it's his memories and stuff like that. This kind of gives them the right to be able to pull that away. But like some of the other flashbacks that we've had and we've seen her and stuff, that's more of what's bothering me. Like, if you're going to mention her, if you're going to make a big deal out of her in a dream world like this, at least if she's not available, at least use stock footage, recycled it somehow, get her on there. Because I feel like they could have taken anything that Abby has ever said to Crane and had Molly repeat it to him, and overlaid the two, and, interchangeably cut between them, and, cross-faded them. Saying the same thing over each other would have been extremely powerful. More powerful than just Molly saying it herself over the phone, inside Crane's head as a visual.
I'm not sure I agree.
So, or even cutting Molly's voice on the phone to Crane in the dream world where they were going back and forth, and having Crane hear it as Abby instead of Molly, I think could have worked well too.
But I think the importance of it being just Molly's voice is that she is now the new witness.
Well, yeah.
That connection is unfortunately no longer to Abby, it is to Molly. So.
Right. Yeah, it's more of the reminder that it was Abby, instead of just us hearing, oh, those were Abby's words, but an actual auditorial reminder, yes, it was Abby. I think, as the audience and for Crane, I think it would have been more powerful to hear him overlaid. So, that's just my personal feelings on it. I get what you're saying, though. So, I don't know. All in all, I think this is actually their best episode yet. In terms of nostalgia and creature. Not necessarily in terms of history. I think I liked the stuff going on last episode with J Street and the history, because all that stuff with J Street itself, that's real. It's not in DC,
Yeah.
And just the building and the plans and all that, that's actual real mythology. Me and Kim spent some time talking about that last week. Everything that they mentioned are theories to how DC came to be in the first place. And I had mentioned to Kim that the real reason for I and J Street was because I and J were used interchangeably at that point. And that's why they felt it would be redundant to have two of the exact same letters in a row like that. Yeah,
and it got confused in the old-timiness.
Yeah, so for all we know, that might be the real street, I Street, might be J Street, and there might not be an I Street, or, whatever. So we don't know for sure, but it's J Street in this show, so that's what we're going to continue to call it. But
I liked in this episode that we got more of Higgins? No, what?
Job?
What's their ancestor? Jenny's ancestor?
Oh, they're...
Yeah.
Oh, God, just had her name in my head. But I like that there was more of her and that she had more to do,
Yeah.
Because the stuff that she did in the past, like we saw her in the past seasons, kind of was more of a passive or a helpful role, and this time she comes in and literally like invents this thing and sets this monster on fire. So
yeah,
I like that she had more to do.
And another one of my favorite scenes this episode was Jenny trying to sneak into where Ichabod was held.
Oh, shut up!
When she was like, "Oh my god, oh no!" Oh.
That was great. No, but it was more her going up to a military fence with bolt cutters. I'm just like, Jenny, girl, we gotta talk.
And then thinking she could hide the bolt cutters from the armed guards, which she almost fooled. She almost fooled.
Oh.
If only she had zipped up her backpack.
She would.
We were hiking.
Fantastic.
I don't know what happened.
How did they buy that? For 1 second.
No.
Like, what is there?
She's really convincing.
There's a hiking trail that just happens to go, through, an open fence. Like, there's an open gate that goes through a hiking trail to their military facility. Like, how did they buy that?
Kim, is there a hiking trail?
There's a lot of hiking trails over there in Valley Forge and stuff, but I don't think there's going to be one where like you accidentally stumble into a military base. So
I feel like there would be a fence nearby.
Excuse me. Oops.
What?
Come on now. Where are the guards? Where the hell are the guards?
You didn't see the signs?
Military bases are a lot more watched than that.
Yeah. But Brian's favorite scene in chat, or one of his favorite, he liked when Diana told Molly not to eat pizza and watch TV while she was watching TV and eating pizza.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was definitely funny.
And what I like more than that is that she turns to Jenny and she's like, she's watching TV and eating pizza.
Yep.
Because she knows.
She was not fooled for 1 second.
Nope.
Reheat the chicken, and watch TV when your homework's done.
Yeah.
So, it was fantastic. You guys have anything else for this episode? No?
Not this episode, but I already have a new ship.
Oh? Jake and Alex?
It's Jake. No, fuck Alex. It's Jake and Jenny.
Jake and Jenny, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I was thinking Jake and Alex were getting there was a moment.
I think Alex likes
No,
Jake.
I agree. There's moments.
I think Alex likes Jake too.
I don't think Jake
so
likes
too.
Alex, but I think Alex likes Jake.
Yeah.
No, because I think Jake likes Jenny.
Oh god,
And
Jake is like
I think that's
puppy
why
dog love with Jenny.
I think that's why Alex was taken aback when she found out Jake was going to leave. Just before Crane showed up. So, yeah, but Clio, as much as you don't want it, it's a TV show trope. It happens. Every show has it.
It is.
Just once.
It would be nice.
Maybe
it would be
just
refreshing.
Once.
It's refreshing.
Ichabod never ends up with anybody.
It's too soon.
Yes.
He's feeling too much guilt.
Oh
so
yeah,
it's not gonna
we won't
happen.
have anything yet. It won't be anytime. It won't be anytime soon.
Please don't be dead.
But it will happen.
Please don't
Grace
be dead.
Dixon. Thank you, Brian. God, I'm an idiot.
Next episode is called Blood from a Stone. As Dreyfus gets closer to making progress on his mission, important parts of his past come to light. Cannot wait for more backstory from him. His former partner returns to settle the score from years before, and it becomes evident that Dreyfus's involvement in the supernatural is not something new. Has me really excited, and what has me even more excited is not one time in that synopsis is anybody but Dreyfus mentioned, like his partner is, but I mean, like, there's no Ichabod, there's no Jenny, there's no Alex, there's no Jake,
the team is
Diana,
in danger.
This is all focused on Dreyfus, and I think this is what we need. We've had so little but very significant involvement from Dreyfus at this point that I feel like if this is an episode dedicated to nothing but Dreyfus, I would love that. And it's something that Sleepy Hollow has never done, is shown us an episode where Crane's not involved. That's how I would like it to go. I'm not saying that's how it's going to go. But I feel that would be very, very fresh for the series, too. To take a step back and be like, you know what? Maybe we could go an episode without having our leading man in. That's a bold move. But I don't know. I don't know if it's too bold for them.
Well, I think that's a part of the promo. And they're in it.
Okay.
So I don't think he's going to be completely not in it, but the focus is definitely on Dreyfus.
Right. If Crane has as much pull in the episode as Dreyfus has had in previous episodes, I'd still be happy with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like a cameo, like
role
just
reversal.
like they're walking through.
Well, like for the longest time, Mike Myers, the actor, was talking about doing a Dr. Evil movie.
Oh my god.
Where Austin Powers would still be part of the movie, but Austin Powers would be in it as much as Dr. Evil was previously. So the focus would be Dr. Evil with a little bit of Austin Powers, and I'm still waiting for that. I'm still waiting for it. It needs to happen.
Give it to me.
So.
I love Dr. Evil.
Yeah, not to mention we haven't had Austin Powers in forever. But that is neither here nor there. I think that about does it. Kim, where can people find you?
On the Twitters at HUFFITY,
Excellent. Clio, where can the people find you?
I miss doing that. You can find me at Clio Moto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest.
Excellent. You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. Yeah, I caught you right in the middle of a yawn. You can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Till next time.